Hey guys, Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. Since I'm currently reviewing for the Real Estate Consultancy Board exam, which will be this coming December 9, pray for me guys. I decided to share with you laws that are an integral part of the real estate industry. So whether you're a buyer, a seller, or more so a real estate professional, you need to be aware of these laws so that you know exactly where you stand and you can better protect yourself and your investment. I already covered the Maceda Law, RA 6552 in a previous vlog, so today I will be discussing about the law that professionalized the real estate service in the Philippines, the Real Estate Service Act, RA 9646. So I will be breaking down the contents of RESA. What is the Real Estate Service Act? What is it about? What are its objectives? RESA was passed in June 29 of 2009. Previously, DTI was the regulating body of the real estate profession. But with the passing of RESA, regulating power got transferred to PRC. Now, real estate plays an integral role in the country's economy, and so the purpose of the Real Estate Service Act is to effectively regulate and supervise competent, responsible, and respected real estate professionals, the standard of which shall be globally competitive and will promote the growth of the Philippine real estate industry. Now, there are 5 types of real estate professionals. We have real estate broker, real estate salesperson, appraiser, assessor, and real estate consultant, which is the highest level of the real estate profession, because one of the requirements to become a consultant is you need 10 years experience as a broker or 5 years experience as an appraiser to be able to apply for the consultancy real estate exam. So what is the difference between a broker and appraiser? Let's go with that first. To become a real estate broker, you need to be a graduate of the Bachelor of Science in Real Estate Management. So after that, you can then take the board exam, and once you pass, you will be then given a license by PRC. Now, to become a real estate salesperson, you need to attend a CPE seminar. So no more exam is needed. And then after that, apply at PRC, submit the necessary requirements, and after that, you will be given a license. So all salespersons must be governed by a broker. A broker can have a maximum of 20 salespersons under him or her. A real estate appraiser performs services in estimating the value of property, while a real estate assessor works for the government and also performs appraisal and assessment of real property. So basically, assessors and appraisers have the same job, but assessors work for the government. Now, a real estate consultant offers professional advice on the acquisition, enhancement, preservation, and utilization of property. So this includes conception, management, planning, and development of real estate projects. With the passing of RESA, the board was also created, and it's called the Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service, PRB-RES. So the purpose of the board is to create guidelines for the development of the real estate industry, conduct licensure exams, issue, suspend, revoke, or reinstate certificates of registration, maintain the register of licensed real estate professionals, adopt a national code of ethics to be followed by all real estate professionals, investigate any violations of the Real Estate Service Act, cooperate with CHED in coming up with a curriculum for the BSREM course, provide guidelines for the CPE, also known as Continuing Professional Education, that issues permits to those conducting CPE, eradicate practices of licensed individuals. So the board really has a lot of work. So the board is composed of a chairman and 4 members appointed by the President of the Philippines himself, among 3 recommendees submitted by PRC from a list of 5 nominees from IPO. So basically, IPO will nominate 5 people, then PRC will select 3 from the 5, and the President will select who out of the 3 to appoint as a board member. So the board members are handpicked and carefully screened by PRC and IPO. Also, you need to have at least 10 years experience as a real estate professional to qualify. 2 of the board members shall represent the appraisers and assessors. And every year end, the board shall then submit a report to PRC giving a detailed account of its accomplishments for the year and recommendations for the following year. Aside from these, RESA also contains the qualifications of the board, requirements for licensing, scope of the exam and qualifications of the examinees. All real estate professionals, except real estate persons, must take and pass the board exam before they can be given a license to practice. The examinees must get at least 75% in all subjects with no rating below 50 in any subject. Upon passing the exam, a certificate of registration and professional ID, which is renewable every 3 years, will then be issued to the examinee. The COR will be signed by the chairperson of PRC, chairperson of PRB-RES, and all the board members, and stamped with the official seal of PRC. The board may also revoke or suspend your license if you're caught doing any of the following. So, the grounds for suspension or revocation of license are: first, procurement of your certificate of registration or license through fraud. And second, allowing an unqualified person to practice the profession by using your license. So it's both illegal and risky to let other people borrow your license, because if anything were to happen, you would be the one held accountable. And then next is unprofessional and unethical conduct and practicing during one's suspension. Now, there are also exemptions from taking the board exam. So those who on the date of effectivity of this act are already licensed real estate consultants, brokers, appraisers by DTI, provided that they are in active practice, plus they have the needed CPE. And next is assessors and appraisers who have been practicing for 5 years prior to the effectivity of this act, hold permanent appointments, and have passed the real property assessing officer exam conducted by the Civil Service Commission. Assessors and appraisers who on the date of the effectivity of this act hold permanent appointments and have at least 10 years experience plus 120 hours of CPE. But take note, if you are exempted from the exam, you have a deadline because you will need to file within 2 years from the effectivity of this act. So since this act was passed in 2009, the window was between 2009 to 2011. So if you haven't availed of the grandfather clause, it's now too late. So next we have issuance of special or temporary permit. The board may issue special or temporary permits to real estate service practitioners from foreign countries whose services are urgently needed in the absence of local real estate practitioners. So the only time special permit is not needed by a foreign real estate professional is when he or she is a citizen of the country that's part of the ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Because of the reciprocity within ASEAN members, we can practice our profession in their country and vice versa without having to get a special license. So that means as a broker, I can practice my profession in Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Now, once you have passed the board exam, you will be required to take an oath before any member of the board and get a surety bond worth at least $20,000, renewable every 3 years before you can start practicing your profession. It is also very clearly stated in RESA that unlicensed individuals are not allowed to practice the profession. Any violation of this act shall be given a penalty of $100,000 or imprisonment of 2 years, or both, depending on the court's discretion, if you are licensed. If you are unlicensed, if the violation is committed by an unlicensed individual, the penalty shall be double. That means 4 years imprisonment or 200,000 pesos in penalty. So as you can see, if you are an unlicensed real estate practitioner, you are practicing the profession at your own risk. It would be best to obtain a license as soon as possible and officially be part of the profession. Now for salespersons, as I mentioned in the beginning of my vlog, salespersons don't need to take an exam to be licensed, but they have to meet the requirements set by PRC. So first, they have to have completed at least 2 years in college, or that's about 72 units, be of good moral character, and must not have been convicted of any crime and undergone 12 units of CPE. Real estate salespersons shall be under the direct supervision and accountability of a real estate broker. So they themselves cannot be signatories to any written agreements in a real estate transaction. Their broker must be the one to sign for them. In all documents signed or released by the broker, he or she must indicate their certificate of registration, PRC license number, privilege tax receipt or PTR, accredited professional organization or APO number. And that's it for RA 9646. I hope you learned something new from today's vlog, and as always, I will see you in my next video.